with all the crazy weather we've been having, it got me to thinking about catastrophic weather and Bigfoot and how they would deal with that. So like the situation we had here in Washington is we had lowland flooding going on, like historic flooding, and then there were blizzards in the mountains, which creates two inhospitable environments that everybody's kind of sandwiched in between. So like Bigfoot's kind of caught in that same scenario where,
Right.
so with all this weather, and I've seen other people ask like, what does Bigfoot do during bad weather? That got me to thinking. So like the blizzard level was 2,000 feet. You had creeks and rivers flooded well above their banks, where I think their normal food source and path of ingress and egress in and out of areas,
Right.
like that's no longer possible. So what does Bigfoot do? Does he go to that zone in between, hang out in ravines that are protected from the wind? What do you think, Virgil?
Yeah, I would think that they, being living out here in the woods, I would think during times just like us in the wintertime, we would go to different places that we knew were safe. So, yeah, get into caves, get out of the way, get up on the sides of the mountains, get out of the wind on the westward or eastward side.
Yeah. Like out in here with 110 mile an hour winds,
yeah, you
don't want to be in the trees because the old ones are coming down. Kind of as we're going by here, you can see out the window there, dead trees everywhere laying in the road and live ones.
Yeah.
So there's one up here.
Kind of
I think we can get over that one.
Yeah.
But
well, I got my saw with me too. So, well, we had to cut our way into our campsite yesterday.
So that brings up kind of an interesting question. Do you think that Bigfoot habitates in caves?
Yeah, I've heard stories on YouTube and stuff about how people have found them and found caves and stuff where they're probably living.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense to me. I mean, you're out of the weather. You've got
protected
shelter, You probably bring your food with you. So,
because, well, yeah, if you're thinking about like, what are the things that you need to survive? You need food,
shelter,
water,
and
shelter.
And, well, for us, food, shelter, and clothing for a human, but for them,
so
I think it's just food and shelter.
Yeah,
that's all they need.
Well, we were talking last night. It was really kind of too cold and wet to be hanging out outside, so we went in Virgil's trailer. But we had some really long, deep conversations about the subject, and you had mentioned something that I thought was pretty fascinating, and that was polar bears can regulate their own heat and provide their own core temperature. And you had a thought about that.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll start over kind of on that one. I was watching on the is that the Discovery Channel, Animal Planet. Anyway, they were talking about polar bears, which I didn't know, but you can't see a polar bear with a thermal scope because I forget the word that they called that, but they keep their heat generator inward. It doesn't come out to like their skin. It's like their hair is clear and soaks up the sun. And I got to thinking about that. I thought, well, that would be a perfect heat source for these Bigfoot out here. So cold weather and winter like we're having now, even if they got wet, it wouldn't affect them at all.
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, it would be like wearing a coat.
They don't need the sun, or
right.
Maybe they would want to stay out of a blizzard because it impairs your vision and all kinds of other problems that you would encounter. But
yeah,
I think you may be onto something there.
I think that's a very interesting thought. That I don't know, maybe I'm a podunk researcher, but as far as somebody that's really into this field, maybe they ought to look into that. I don't know if we're going to get past it, so
maybe not.
This is looking Yeah.
Let me pull the window down and we'll
I can get past it. Well, there's a bunch of trees fucking down in this one. Watch out.
Yeah. Like somebody else came through here.
Oh, boy, there was a bunch of shit going down in here.
Yeah. So this is what Bigfoot has to contend with.